Welcome back to Weekly Top 10 of Everything. Many people find clowns to be creepy, if not downright terrifying. But it's not just the painted faces with giant lips that give people goosebumps. They're a common fear, along with death, needles, and public speaking. Their makeup and eccentric outfits distract audience from the true nature of the person underneath. Another reason some people find clowns unsettling. So in this video, we're going to talk about clowns and the reason they're scary. The video is going to be amazingly informative, so make sure you stick to the end. If you're afraid of clowns, you aren't alone. In fact, the fear of clowns is a real phobia, called coulrophobia. Clowns have been a part of many cultures, dating back to 2500 BC, when they entertained Egyptian pharaohs and made them laugh. Before his death in 1837, English actor Joseph Grimaldi transformed clowns into the colorful, leaping, and stumbling characters we know today. According to a 2016 Vox poll, a whopping 42% of people said they were at least somewhat afraid of clowns. Among people ages 18 to 29, there were even more who feared clowns, 62% of respondents. However, in a 2016 Chapman University survey, 7.8% of people said they feared clowns. While this doesn't necessarily rise to the level of a phobia, it does point to the fact that whether the clown is smiling or looking menacing, clowns scare plenty of people. The media has played up the scary clown for a long time. Most of us have grown up with popular books, movies, TV, and comics that have twisted the clown into an evil, demented, and frequently homicidal character. The 1990s TV adaptation of Stephen King's novel It was one of the first popular depictions of the scary clown meme. Tim Curry played Pennywise the Clown, a demonic entity of evil that preys on children. The character, who looks positively innocent by today's standards, was modeled on Bozo, a famous TV clown of the 1960s, and McDonald's mascot Ronald McDonald. Psychology offers three possible reasons. The first, called the uncanny, has roots going back into Sigmund Freud's body of work. He was the first to describe the uncanny as a reason for fear, as something that is both unfamiliar and familiar all at once. The second possible reason why we find clowns creepy: a sad, angry clown with an ear-to-ear smile sends mixed signals to our brains, interrupting the established pattern of happy equals a smile and sad equals a frown that we're used to, thus creating the uneasy feeling of being creeped out. Alternatively, our brains register a smile as a good, happy, normal thing, but we all know that it's not normal to smile all the time. If there's a wide grimace on someone's face all the time, something's not right. Some psychologists believe the sinister representation of clowns in popular culture could be the third possible reason why we find them so creepy. They act out a lot of what's supposed to remain hidden. They're too emotional, their timing is off, and their reactions are unanticipated and unusual, says de Courville Nicole. That instability is what freaks us out and can result in all sorts of emotional reactions, from laughter to terror, she explains. The clown turns the world upside down. It shows us what's taboo, what we're defending against emotionally, and what we're repressing, she says. This makes it powerful in therapeutic sense, as a horror device. There's also different types of fear itself. There are irrational fears and rational fears. Rational fears are fears that are biologically inside of us. Irrational fears are a little more complicated and changing. Irrational fears are usually minor, causing only a slightly uncomfortable feeling around an object or in a specific situation. When these irrational fears get out of control and start to consume a person's life, they're called phobias. Is the fear of clowns a rational fear or irrational fear? Clowns are simply an irrational fear. Whether or not that fear manifests itself into a phobia is specific to each individual. Rami Nader is a Canadian psychologist who studies coulrophobia, the irrational fear of clowns. Nader believes that clown phobias are fueled by the fact that clowns wear makeup and disguises that hide their true identities and feelings. This is perfectly consistent with the hypothesis that it is the inherent ambiguity surrounding clowns that make them creepy. They seem to be happy, but are they really? And they're mischievous, which puts people constantly on guard. People interacting with a clown during one of his routines never know if they're about to get a pie in the face or be the victim of some other humiliating prank. The next evolution of the clown came in the form of the harlequin or Zanni, a staple of the Italian theater. The clown was an entertainer, but not a necessarily family-friendly one. He would often be crude and vulgar, being one wants to give in to vice and mischief. A 2013 Smithsonian article dives a bit into the clown's immoral role. But clowns have always had a dark side, says David Kaiser, director of talent for Ringling Bros and Barnum and Bailey Circus. After all, these were characters who reflected a funhouse mirror back on society. Academics note that their comedy was often derived from their voracious appetites for food, sex, and drink, and their manic behavior. The 1800s saw the modern clown concept as we know it take shape, shifting away from the crude and refining its appeal for kids. Their shtick would be slapstick, not sick, but their origins remained. The persona of the creepy clown really came into its own after serial killer John Wayne Gacy was captured. In the 1970s, Gacy appeared at children's birthday parties as Pogo the Clown and regularly painted pictures of clowns. When the authorities discovered that he had killed at least 33 people, burying most of them in the crawl space of his suburban Chicago home, the connection between clowns and dangerous psychopathic behavior became forever fixed in the collective unconscious of Americans. Following the notoriety of Gacy, Hollywood exploited our deep ambivalence about clowns via a Terror by Clown campaign that shows no signs of going out of fashion. Coulrophobia affects all ages and genders, although females may be more likely to be afraid of clowns. Researchers have noted signs of coulrophobia in children as young as 3. You may be more at risk for developing this specific phobic disorder if you already have an anxiety disorder or other phobias. Some people with coulrophobia have panic attacks when they see clowns. You may have non-cardiac chest pain, a fast heart rate, and feel like you're having a heart attack. Persistent worries about having panic attacks can lead to panic disorder. You may need long-term anti-anxiety medication or therapy. Most phobias are diagnosed by talking with a therapist or mental health professional who then consults the diagnostic guidelines for that particular phobia in order to decide the best treatment moving forward. In the case of coulrophobia, things are a little trickier, since coulrophobia is not listed as an official phobia in the DSM-5. You may simply need to meet with a therapist to discuss your fear of clowns and the ways that fear seems to be impacting your life. Talk through what happens in your mind and body when you see a clown. Shortness of breath, dizziness, panic, or anxiety, for example. Once your therapist knows your experience, they can work with you to find a way to treat and manage your phobia. Exposure therapy is, as the name suggests, you confront your specific phobia. In this case, you might be put into situations where you can see or be in the presence of clowns. A therapist can support you through this process and help you choose the right approach. For example, you might want to try graded exposure. CBT is a type of psychotherapy in which you can identify thoughts that are causing you anxiety. Although medication isn't a treatment for phobias, options like beta blockers, benzodiazepines, or antidepressants may help manage symptoms like anxiety. That being said, if you're extremely afraid of clowns, you shouldn't feel like you have to go out of your way to come in contact with them. Psychologist Nader told NBC that to get over a phobia such as a clown phobia, what we need to do gradually comes into contact with that kind of thing, whether it's spiders or heights, whatever you're afraid of, and learn to cope with the anxiety. Learn to recognize that what you're afraid of won't actually harm you. You won't lose control, you won't panic, you won't embarrass yourself with other people. Let us know your opinion in the comments section below. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Do not forget to subscribe to Weekly Top 10 of Everything to see new videos weekly. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.